You are listening to SheKings with Erica and Allie. This is a podcast for peasants who don't want to live shitty lives. Every week we share insights on how to stop living out of habit and start living out of inspiration. So let's do this.
Hey, we are recording.
Hello,
Welcome
hello.
to Kings, people. Every week we bring clarity to overused spiritual buzzwords and little known spiritual concepts so you can live life with more freedom and ease. This is episode 5 of season 2. Let's do this thing. Allie, what's going on with you?
Oh my gosh, I just have to tell everybody. So Eric and I have actually been on Zoom for the last 30 minutes, like talking and I just have to tell you, I didn't have a chance to, but I'm so glad you left the video on. Erica has her groceries delivered, and so a guy came to her door, and I've been watching a shit ton of True Crime Obsessed and Crime Junkie podcasts, and I was just like, oh, keep it on, let me watch, like don't get stabbed. Let me see his face. I need a clear shot so I can identify him. That's what was going through my head.
Because like I was just in the States and Ubering and lifting everywhere, and all of a sudden people are like, do you know how many people die or raped or sexually assaulted in an Uber or Lyft? And I'm like, I don't want to know that. I'm like, are people getting murdered when they get their groceries delivered?
I mean, I'll keep listening to Crime Junkie and I'll let you know. There has to be one coming up.
I gotta keep my energy pure. Okay, we're about to talk about law of attraction and everything.
That is true.
So I gotta keep my vibration high. So you can't be telling me about your 2 crimes.
That's like my daughters. When I first got into it, especially Crime Junkie, and like my second daughter, she's 8 months pregnant, and she's like going like out late, just going grocery shopping or whatever, you get stuff for the kids, and I'm just texting her like, be careful, text me when you get home, and she's like, Mom, stop watching your podcast, leave me alone, I'm fine. Or listening to your podcast. And I'm just like, yeah, because it sucked me in, man. Every time I heard a noise, I'd be like, it's like on edge. Yeah, I'm getting better.
I can't live that life.
They're so good though.
I literally can't pay attention to politics. I hear president just got impeached, which I'm like, I just can't, dude. Am I making you uncomfortable by bringing up politics on our podcast?
No, it was making me laugh that he got impeached. I'm just like, oh, full circle.
It is full circle.
So full circle. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is the universe is laughing at you.
Yes, one of our favorite segments.
Yeah. And it's always good to see life that way, right? To be like, not take things so personal, or to even attach a story like, why me? And it's just like, just go with it. So this is like my, I want to say 3rd or 4th time that I've been sick in the last 3 months. I say this not lightly. I really never get sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah.
We just did. We've done this. The universe is laughing at you before because we did the one that tickle on your nose or something.
That is okay.
So
yes. So it's still laughing at me.
I don't think that it's laughing at you. I think it's yelling at you to get your shit together, and you don't listen. You're still not listening.
I feel like I'm resting. I do.
Yeah.
I mean, physically, maybe not mentally.
But yeah, it's deeper than that.
Yeah.
It really is. Or it could be download season. Because I feel like, so much stuff is changing and shifting right now that, you might be, one of my most hated words, up-leveling. You might be up-leveling.
That way. Yeah, I'm going to say it that way.
you know.
All right, cool. So yeah, but I think it's still getting a kick out of it, because if I were to video myself around like in the evening time and I do my little fake cry to my husband, like I don't feel good like that. I think that's what it enjoys.
Like,
Because nobody else enjoys it. So
make her do it again. Here we go.
I know. Make her fake cry and you're sick. Yeah. All
Um,
right. So that is our segment. Man, you guys, we are wrapping up this decade. Things are, I don't know. I'm gearing up for the new year. It's going to be amazing. So I think just these last few couple of weeks, I'm a little blah. I'll
yeah.
be honest.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. I was talking to my coach today and realizing that I've just been doing the most. So I'm definitely in one of those places where I just don't have motivation to, execute on certain things. And, while the universe has not sent me some sickness to put me on my tushy, I definitely I need to pull back and just, stop taking so many sessions and just be
Yeah.
still for a minute.
I hear you. Yeah. So let's all try not to be the butt of the joke for the universe if you don't
Yeah.
want to, and listen to your body. Obviously, I do. So here I am again. I like to entertain. I'm an entertainer.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
especially going into the holiday season, we do have an episode on the holiday season. So check the show notes, and I'll put a link in there for how to get through the holidays. But
yeah,
take care of yourself, people.
absolutely. Okay, so this episode is all about the law of attraction. And actually, when we started this podcast series a year ago, this was going to be our first one, but we
Yeah.
decided let's not jump in with just guns blazing, because people just love the law of attraction. I mean, look at The Secret when it came out. I mean, that was everybody's Bible.
Yeah.
Like The Secret. And I won't lie, man, I used to have women's groups at my house when I lived in Fort Collins, and I ordered a shit ton of those books and I passed them out. I just like really wanted people to start to understand the frequencies. So yeah, the law of attraction is it's just such a buzzword, and I don't think
Really.
people really understand how it can harm you.
Yeah, it's a total buzzwords and thinking, and also you have now Abraham with Esther and Jerry Hicks. Jerry has since passed, and I think that at bottom what they're saying is like really really helpful. But today, Allie and I, whether you're Esther and Abraham fan or you're a secret person, today Allie and I are going to look at our 10 or so issues that kind of take us away from the law of attraction. I personally don't practice the law of attraction um, anymore. Slash, I don't know if it's practicable. I don't think it's practicable, like really, but whatever. So let's get into it. So we're gonna give you our 10 reasons why the law of attraction will totally fuck you up. Like it will have you out here daytime and with a flashlight looking for some shit that don't exist. Sorry. And I know a lot of people love it, and a lot of people have seen huge shifts in their lives because they've applied those things. So before we talk about what's bad about it, I think that what law of attraction is at bottom, before it gets all fucked up and mucked up, is feel good and you feel better. Feel good and you'll keep feeling better. And it's literally doing what feels good, like actually slowing down, stopping, checking in with yourself and saying, what would feel good to me right now? Not what am I supposed to do? Not how do I build a business? How do I get pregnant? How do I find a significant other? But what would be fun right now, just period. And it might be watching TV. And then maybe you know, break your remote control because somebody on your favorite show does something dumb, and then you throw it, and then the person who comes to repair your remote control is the love of your life. I don't know. But if you would just do the thing that feels good, then more good feeling things come your way. And I think that if law of attraction would leave it at that, learn how to feel good and keep feeling good, then we would be good. But that's not what we do. We take it too fucking far. So today, we're just going to go over some of the obvious problems. So what's the first one you want to talk about, Allie?
Let's talk about the subconscious mind is not accounted for. So the conscious mind wants, right? The conscious mind creates stories. You know, if you had this, then you would feel so much better, right? If you had this, then maybe that's how you would find your perfect mate. If you had all these things, that's the conscious mind. Mm-hmm. The subconscious mind is the part of us that holds on to every story that we've ever had in the past, right? I'm not good enough. I'm unworthy. Something that you heard when you were a little kid. You're never going to amount to anything. Somebody yelling at you, all that gets trapped in the cells, and that's in the subconscious mind. So those stories, those feelings are so intense and so strong that they are constantly kicking out that frequency, right? And so when you go from the conscious mind and you get caught up in what you believe will make you feel better or accepted or change your status, you're not taking into consideration those old stories. And so we go to the fact of quantum physics, whatever frequency you're kicking out, that's what you're going to pull towards you. Mm-hmm. And it usually 99% of the time comes from the subconscious, right? The mind is in the body. It's stored in the cells. That's what's sending out the message. The conscious mind, yeah, if we went off the conscious mind, like, oh my gosh, I'm so worthy, I'm so this, I love myself. And you're like, no, you don't. Because the self-hatred, the self-abuse is still from years ago stuck in the cells, and that's the subconscious. That's what the universe is going to be matching. I don't care what shows up in your life.
Period. And so, you know, Allie and I will offer a course on this, but like one of the things that we both love to do to pull up those subconscious thoughts is tapping, right? And so, you know, if you don't find a way to get to what you're feeling subconsciously, you can think with your conscious mind over and over again that I just want to attract a perfect partner. And like, you can do that law of attraction thing where you go and you feel the feelings that you'll feel when you're looking into your partner's eyes, and it's oh so perfect and it's oh so beautiful. But if you don't learn that underneath all of that, you think that a relationship will take your freedom, and you've never seen a relationship work, you know, we get so, you'll be thrown off. You're not going to have what you say you want. So yeah. Law of attraction does not account for that.
It's just saying, I want this, but we're stuck on, so we use the law of attraction, we're stuck on the physical thing, right? I want this. And then, but if you dig a little deeper, why do you want this? Well, I just want to be appreciated. So, and I think in my head, appreciation comes from this type of partner. But then that goes back to being stuck on the physical thing, where it's just like, no, let's take all that away. And you just want to be appreciated. So let that be what pulls in your experience, is the feeling of appreciation.
So let's go to that one. So that's the second issue. Like, law of attraction keeps you so stuck on outer goals and validation, right? So it's one of those things where I can listen to Abraham and Esther Hicks. If you don't know who we're talking about, they're people who talk about the law of attraction all the time and help people try to apply it in their lives. You can go to YouTube and listen to some of their videos. As much as I love them, and as much as at bottom I do think they have it 1000% right, feel good, good things happen. Feel good, feel better, not even good things happen, feel good and you'll feel better. most of the people who are coming to them are like, oh, I'm trying to manifest this outer thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, just ask anyone who hmm, who's looking to bring like that one particular thing into their lives their entire life. Like, so one I hear a lot from them is people who want to be actors and actresses,
Mhm.
right? And it's like, not everyone is going to be an actor or an actress, period, let alone on the big screen, the way they may be seeing it for themselves. And so, what do? Be unhappy for the rest of your life because you rested your entire self-worth and self-being in some outer thing?
Oh,
It's about feeling good, people. And law of attraction, if you apply it and the way it's presented, will have you 1000% outer focus instead of really, like Ali said, digging into what do you really, really want? Because you can put on a show any fucking where, right? You can be the full, like your full flamboyant self. This is why I love drag, because people are like, I don't care. Like, I'm about to get up and put this makeup on. This hair is about to be laid, and I am here to slay all day. And it's amazing. And they're not waiting for you to give them permission to be in full flair, in full expression, right? Whereas a lot of us are waiting for it to be just like this outer idea of what they think.
yeah. And that's a perfect segue into number 3, where it ignores more deeply who you are, right? So when you're focusing on the law of attraction and calling in stuff, you're not focusing on who you truly are, because all this is just surface. It's not. So if you say this thing, this car, this relationship, more money, the perfect house will make me happy, you're ignoring your true happiness, because true happiness absolutely cannot be found in items outside of you. So the law of attraction has you chasing this happiness,
Mm-hmm.
and it's found in external things. So then you start to ignore your power, because then power is linked to things outside of you, right? Your status, your money, or all those things. And it is true that, I mean, you don't even need to limit to happiness. Money doesn't buy happiness. To really anything outside of you doesn't buy happiness, doesn't equal happiness, does not substitute for true happiness. So that's one of the things that the law of attraction does is, it supports you ignoring this God self that is so much more powerful than anything that you could ever find outside of you. And for most people, it's non-existent, right? That God self, that comfortableness within ourselves doesn't even exist. No one pays attention to it because we're so eager chasing the next best thing, the best, a better relationship, a bigger house, a car, whatever it is, the perfect body. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that ties into number 5.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that ties in good.
That is this idea that um, when you are constantly trying to apply law of attraction and you're constantly thinking that it's something outside of you and you're constantly ignoring the fact that what you're really looking for is this peace and this stillness, then you end up so in your mind about everything. And this is like probably one of my biggest issues with law of attraction. It's the one that drives me the most crazy. It's this idea that you can do this life so right. You can do it so good that you only get good things. And so I find that it causes so many people to go into their minds and be like, oh, why did I attract this? Why did I attract this? It's like, dude, what did I do? Or how can I attract it? How can I make this thing come? And so rather than connecting with, that who you really are, that deep feeling of who you really are, that Allie was just talking about, this godliness of who you really are, they are stuck in their minds, trying to make it all make sense, trying to, um, beating themselves up because they didn't do the law of attraction right. Um, and that's so counter. It brings such a negative energy to you because you're constantly self-flagellating for attracting the wrong thing or manifesting the wrong thing. And so rather than what law of attraction is really about, feel good and you'll feel better, feel good and you'll feel more good, it actually causes you to feel bad because you think you did it wrong.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Because you're a failure.
Because you failed now.
The law of attraction will support the fact that you're an actual failure. You're welcome. And that's not the working relationship with the universe is all about, right? So, okay, so moving on to where are we at?
I think this is also, these are all interrelated. So let me add, we have one of the issues being that you think you have a place to land. And so it's similar to number 5 in that I find that people go to law of attraction because they want to feel better and they want to bring something into their life. And it's like, well, if I can just learn and master this thing, then my life will always be good. And it's like, dude, there's no place to land in this life. There's nothing for you to hold on to. Life is just coming hot and heavy. And like sometimes it's going to be good. And sometimes it's going to be maybe something that you didn't want. And I feel like thinking that law of attraction is going to give you some gift of like making everything good all the time it's just such a waste of energy as opposed to learning how to be in the moment and accept what's coming. What I always say, I probably said it on SheKings before, you can't be so good at law of attraction that you don't die, right? What did you do wrong when you die? Like,
Yeah.
honestly. And it's so funny because I'll hear people say, well, didn't that yogi die of cancer? I'm like, yeah. So that means they weren't realized. It means that they weren't awake. Are you stupid? Like, people have to die of something and everybody's got to die. So whether it's cancer or you die peaceful in your sleep, like, that's not attraction. This is life, my loves. Like, sometimes you get sick. Sometimes you die.
Right. And we label what we call in good or bad. And that's why the law of attraction messes us up so much, is because we say, this is my definition of good stuff. This is my definition of bad stuff. And then when the bad stuff come in, then we let it reflect on us. Like, why did I call that in? I must be a bad person, instead of, ooh, I called this in. So let me check in with my frequencies. Why did I call this in, right? What is the story in the back of my mind that would match that frequency? But again, I'm talking as if everybody knows how the frequencies work, and they don't. So then they just go straight to, oh my gosh, I'm a bad person. Or my favorite one is God doesn't like me. It's like, no, you actually don't like yourself.
Yep.
Or and then another one is it's God's will. I don't understand it, but it's God's will. And it's just like, no, it's your will. Get it straight.
And that's the thing. We're not saying like, don't do the work, quote unquote. We're not suggesting that at all. We're just suggesting that law of attraction makes you feel like you're in control, when at bottom, you're just not. Like, you got to let go of that idea that you can learn something or do something so well that you'll only get that good list that Allie was talking about. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. And I always tell my clients too, like, you have pretty much zero say in what your life looks like, but you have 100% say what it feels like. So you think it's going to look a certain way, right? If I call in more money, but you have a feeling that's vibrating from the subconscious, that's I'm not worthy, or I'm so overwhelmed, or nothing ever stays around. So that money comes in, it looks a certain way, but it's going to match exactly how you feel. So the overwhelm, the anxiety, whatever that frequency from the subconscious is going to match that big chunk of money that comes in. And it's going to create so much chaos because it has to match. So 0 say in what it looks like, 100% say in what it feels like. So yeah, go off the feeling. Feel good. You'll definitely start feeling better. And that is your only focus. Let the universe decide what it calls into your life based off of your feelings.
So let's go to Cancer, which is something that I just brought up. Or for me, I had to go through IVF to conceive. Like, there's two ways to do that. There is the woe is me, I can't believe that I have to have this experience. Or it's like, or I could feel good about this. Like, it's happening. This is what has come to me. And I'm just going to take it for what it is. I'm just going to step into the flow of, like, this is what life has given me. And that is, you can control that, how you feel about it.
Right.
Yeah.
The more you focus on the law of attraction, the less I feel that you can surrender into whatever shows up.
So let's make that one number 7. Don't focus on the pink elephant in the room, right? Like, once you start, like, I want to, law of attraction, some will tell you, like, go ahead and think about something else because you're not manifesting what you want. But it's like, how? This is like one of those crazy rules. You want to bring in a child, right? You want to have a baby. Well, focus on feeling motherly and da 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 da. But how? But how do you focus on feeling motherly and not focus on the fact that I'm looking to bring a child, I'm looking to have a child? How do you focus on feeling abundant and, like, not focus on the fact that you ain't got no money, right? Like, you don't have what you want. And so I feel like it creates some sort of unrealistic, like, don't look over at the elephant in the room, when it's just kind of like, I don't know, there are a million different ways to increase the amount of money that you bring in. And hiding from it in some weird way, there are a million different ways to feel motherly and not have children, but tricking yourself into believing, like, I can just love all my friends' kids and then my baby's on the way. It's like, maybe your baby's on the way. Maybe. I don't know. I can be happy for everybody who's in a relationship. Like, really? Can you? When you want to be in a relationship? It just puts this unreasonable way of living on people that I find it to be counterproductive for most people who I talk to about trying to apply the law of attraction.
Yep, I totally agree. Because you're not looking at, okay, why didn't this last relationship work on my side? What was my responsibility of it? Let's just jump into another one to make me feel better, right? Yeah. It's just a distraction. That's all it is. Okay, moving on to the next one.
Allie and I have both gotten some caffeine in our systems, and I hear us talking. I'm gonna, like, have to slow down the speed of this of this recording to, like, 50%, because we're like, and another one, let's go. So I hope that
you're passionate to debunk the law of attraction.
we're fired up about it. So when you're listening to this, we just hope that you need, like, a kick in the ass, some, like, caffeinated energy. Got all of that today. You're welcome.
Yes, and it's Friday, so.
Right.
So the one thing that I try to get across to my clients and even myself is the law of attraction, what you call in, usually supports the very thing that you don't want. So if it's a feeling of unworthiness, whatever you're going to call in, so let's say it's that relationship, you're going to call in a relationship that is going to support your feeling of unworthiness. Whatever frequency you're calling in, whatever you think, ooh, that thing right there, that thing out there is going to make all of this go away. I promise you it won't. It will support the very thing that you don't want to have happen. I don't care how it's packaged, whether it's money, whether it's a person, whether it's a new city, a new job, it absolutely doesn't matter. The law of attraction will always, always, always support the very thing that you don't want. Always.
I love that. And like, going back to the baby thing, I've seen it so many times that a woman wraps up her femininity in the ability to get pregnant and to have a baby, see it through. And women are able to manifest that baby, and then because their vibration is still what it is, they thought that the baby's going to come and like make them feel so feminine and such, like I'm such a woman, but then something else comes along, right? They're unable to breastfeed the way that they want to breastfeed, and it's like, see, but then I'm not feminine enough, I'm not woman enough. Or their significant other starts sneaking around, sneaking out the house, and it's like, oh, am I not feminine enough, am I not a woman enough? And so you got what you wanted, you got what you thought was going to bring you that thing. And if that vibration is still there, there's no outer manifestation that's going to shift the truth of that first thing we talked about, which is that subconscious thing that you have going on. That's always going to be what's pulling in your true, your additional manifestations. So, right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And this one we talked a little bit about, like in our first couple of episodes, is labels, right? So we use the law of attraction. If I call in this, then I'm going to attach my self-worth to that thing. So like you were just saying, I'm going to attach being a mom or feeling like a woman if I have a baby. And then if that doesn't happen or it shifts, then your self-worth plummets. I'm going to attach my self-worth and my status to this new position, this new promotion. And then if it doesn't come through, then your self-worth plummets. So think about it. If your self-worth is attached to anything and that thing goes away, then that's not who you are. That's the actual thing that you need to heal within yourself. Yeah. And that's just the universe's way of saying, like, you're looking for external something to fill in who you are, and that's not your God self at all. Yeah. And so that's really important to understand about the law of attraction. And I'm not saying that it's not, it's don't desire these things, but here's what I am saying is, when you don't even have to focus on the money or the cars or the success or the status, because when you start to heal from the inside out, when you start to see yourself who you truly are and start to make that connection with the divine, all of that stuff will come, and you'll start to notice that your desire for it will start to shift. So you don't even have to worry about it. So yeah, you are here on earth to live a fun, fulfilling, exciting, sensual life, but do it from the inside out, not the other way around, because that will always, always, always bring you suffering. It just will.
I love that. And I know that we have 9, but what you just talked about brings us to 10. And it does seem like something we've already said. So our 10th reason, our biggest reason, and maybe we'll come back to 9, is exactly what Allie was just talking about. We are all here, whether you call it healing or whether you call it self-realization, whether you call it awakening or enlightenment. This is what we're here for. We're here to understand that we are exactly everything. We are all the power, all of the abundance, all of it literally is within us. And so when you start playing this game of law of attraction, and you step away from your stillness, you step away from you start searching for what you are literally made of. You start playing in your mind, right? And taking yourself away from what you literally already are. All that we are looking for, each and every one of us, if we would get really, really honest, is peace of mind. We just want to feel at peace with what is going on.
Yeah.
And you can get that right now exactly where you are. And all of this insanity of this world is thinking that you need something that you don't already have. And as long as you believe that, you will be out here playing these manifestation games. I'll be out here, in misery. That is completely unnecessary. You have exactly what you need. And should that ever shift, God will shift too. And again, you'll have all that you ever need from moment to moment to moment to moment. Not some plan on how to be good and how to think better and how to be positive. But in this moment, no plan, free falling, and knowing that everything is absolutely okay.
Yeah.
So that's our big 10. But we do have this ninth reason that maybe Allie wants to talk about. This.
Oh, yeah. The law of attraction. So real quick, because I don't want to spend too much time in it. There's a collective consciousness, right? The collective consciousness creates what we see, creates our world as we know it, basically. And so then you have belief systems, you have ideas, you have concepts that the collective consciousness agrees with. And so when you start to look for the law of attraction to be accepted into those beliefs of the collective consciousness, and it keeps you trapped into that collective consciousness. And so, I mean, we see all these sayings everywhere, be your unique self because everybody else is taken. Right. So you're uniquely you, all that stuff. It's like, no, that is so true. Like, and you don't want to get stuck in the collective consciousness and all the beliefs and all the limiting thoughts. And that happens when you start doing what the collective consciousness is doing, is looking outside of yourself, right? Outside of yourself for that gratification, outside of yourself for that acceptance. So while you were talking, I go straight to everything that we want. We feel it will allow us to be accepted with ourselves, accepted with our inner circle, accepted as the whole. And then that's where it all comes back to, you are already accepted. You just have to accept yourself. And so when you tap into that morphic field of what the collective consciousness thinks is amazing or the next best thing, that's keeping you stuck. That's keeping you trapped. And that makes it a little more challenging to break free and to start really living your uniqueness, right? Your unique self, because you're not caught up in all of that.
Yeah, and I love that next best thing idea, because that is what so many of us are doing. Like, going to this is the vacation hotspot. Everybody's at this beach, this city, Ibiza, Martha's Vineyard, Venice. Like, everybody is like, got to be in this place, and like some people, those places really resonate with them. The rest of y'all though are just like,
I have to show up because I'm who's who.
Because what?
I'm who's who. Like, who's going to be there? I need to be a part of it.
Exactly. And it's so, and you stay lost in that.
Yeah.
And following that, as opposed to knowing who you really are. And when you know who you really are, then like the desires that arise within you are not these collective consciousness desires. They're not the collective consciousness fears. They're not the collective consciousness subconscious hangups of unworthiness and yada, yada, yada. It is this unique thing that literally was gifted to you, your birthright, to express in a particular way. And so really, rather than trying to live the rules of manifestation by the law of attraction, how about you do something crazy and shut the fuck up, right? Sorry.
I totally didn't see that going there. I thought you were going to say something like, why don't you do something crazy, like just sit and
I was
breathe.
going to say it. I was going to say
Quiet.
that. And I'm not talking, when I say shut the fuck up, I'm not talking to you, right? I'm talking to your mind. If you really, really. Sorry, Abby.
That's so random. Okay. No.
Sorry, guys. But no, allow yourself to be fucking quiet, dude. Like, shut up. Like, all of this blah, 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 blah. And if you don't know how to stop the blah, 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 email us, theshekings@gmail.com. And we will put together our first workshop just for you. Like, shut the fuck up 101. Because enough already, guys. Enough with chasing the next big thing. Enough with trying to be just so perfect so you can have exactly only the things you want. Enough. Aren't you tired of that? Aren't you tired of all the effort that it takes to, live this law of attraction? Don't you just want to fucking chill? Don't you want to, isn't it enough?
Yeah. And I love it that the law of attraction actually supports one of our first show, which is all the labels. When you practice the law of attraction, you are supporting the labels that you don't need, that you truly don't want, that you don't want to keep up with, because everything is constantly changing. So then you're just constantly tapping into the law of attraction for this and now this and now this. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's just exhausting. It's too exhausting. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that is, and you can feel the energy of it. That is our law of attraction rant. And everything was pretty much interrelated, but hopefully you guys we would love to know your questions about this, our 10, maybe 9. Because I don't know if we skipped.
I mean, there might be 5.
There might, right, whatever. However fucking many there are, judge us if you will. Like, however many we said, as repetitive as they may have been, they're just super interconnected. And so we hope that this was helpful. We hope that it gives you some freedom. You don't have to manifest. Fucking heal. Fucking wake up. Whatever you call it. Do that.
Yeah.
And then life shows up and takes care of life.
Totally does. That's good. I'm glad we waited a year, and I'm happy that we finally got out. And we can honestly talk more and more about this topic, but yeah. Homework. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to write down what you believe will make you happy. Whatever it is, whether it's a car, it's a relationship, it's more money, it's a different position. I don't care what it is, a new outfit. I want you to write down what you think will make you happy. And then I want you to be honest with yourself. And how would you feel if that thing never showed up, right? You didn't get the promotion, you didn't get the car, you didn't get whatever it is, right? So then now take that emotion. That's the emotion that you need to start healing. And so you have so many tools, whether it's automatic writing, whether it's tapping, whatever it is, to start healing that emotion, because that's a good thing. I should say a positive thing about the law of attraction, because it will highlight the actual thing that you need to be healing. Mm-hmm. And so if I want this promotion, it doesn't show up. So I'm angry, I'm disappointed, I'm frustrated, I feel like a loser, I feel like I failed. That right there is that feeling that you must start to clear, because when you occupy that space of not having that feeling and you feel healed from it, then you can go back and do this again and just say, okay, now how would I feel? And you're like, you know what? I would totally feel okay. Because I know something else is going to show up, right? That's where you want to get.
I mean, I think about the feminine thing with, whether it's, pregnancy or sexuality or whatever it is you're looking for. Like, that's what you're trying to heal, your connection to the feminine.
Yeah.
That's what's showing up for you. So let's get into that and stop focusing on this outer manifestation that you're trying to create. Heal that. Look at that. What are you trying to get with this outer manifestation stuff? Yes, to this homework. Get it done, folks.
Get it done. In your year, your decade, the month with this, so you can bring in 2020 with just like a new understanding of where you want to put your energy, your focus, your time, starting in the new year.
Yeah.
That's going to be really important.
We would love to hear from you guys as you're going through your homework. You know, I have people reach out to me and tell me what they're working on and what they're coming up with. And so honestly, guys, keep it coming. And do the work. I mean, we love to do this, so we're gonna show it whether you're listening or not. But if you're listening, you might as well fucking get the benefit.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Erica, how can the people find you? Where can they find you?
You guys, ericadanielle.com. Sign up for a chat now in the next 2 weeks because it's holiday time and I am checking the fuck out. But come January, holla at your girl. I would love to see you. You can find me at Erica Danielle Overshares on Insta and Facebook. What about you, Allie?
I am AllieDuncan.com is my website, and it's all updated because I know I mentioned it last time. I'm redoing some stuff. It's all updated. And then Allie Duncan be seen on Facebook and Instagram. And I will post in the Facebook page. I have an offering, and you just put your email in, and I send you 3 videos on how to release fear and call in money. And I created this one specifically for the holidays to help people clear out and call in. So you kind of get the understanding of how this whole tapping thing works. So look for that. I'll be posting that today. And you guys, please, 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 please go to Google, go to iTunes, go to YouTube, give us 5 stars, write a little blog. Well, not a blog, a blurb. Blog would be too long and we don't have time to read that. But just something small. Yeah, and give us a review. We would love it. We really want to grow in 2020. Our Patreon page is up. We're going to start promoting it. We would love your support because we're going to start doing big things. We're going to start having guest speakers join us, workshops, online workshops, and then finally a retreat. So let's get it going. Let's make 2020 a very powerful year. And we do need your support as far as feedback, as far as being a part of the Patreon. Yeah, and we're excited to work with you.
Awesome. What are we doing Patreon at? I think we only have one level right now, and that's the founding members.
Yep, it's $5. $5 a month to support us. You get.
I thought it was $8.
Oh, it is $8.
We have very wealthy listeners, and so we want them
$8.
That's
my bad.
We would never say $5 to you guys. Ever. Never.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. So go make some magic not happen through the law of attraction, but through your own healing. And we're going to take next week off. I'll be posting some stuff, maybe some lives here and there. And you guys have a happy holiday, a wonderful new year. And we'll be back to connect. But stay tuned. There'll be stuff up in the lives and on our stories throughout the couple of weeks. So we won't leave you hanging. I promise. Bye.